Hey there, welcome back to Comfy Cat Yoga. My name is Phoenix and I'm going to be leading our practice today. Today's practice is just going to be a really simple, beginner-friendly Hatha flow for the second day of our challenge. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and roll out a mat, maybe grab a blanket, and let's get started. We're going to begin in a nice, comfortable seated position. You can have your legs crossed, you can have them out in front of you, whatever feels comfortable to you today. We're going to roll the shoulders back, coming up nice and tall in our posture, focusing on bringing the crown of the head nice and tall, and bringing our attention to our breath. You can keep your palms rested on your knees, face up, maybe in your lap, whatever feels good to you today. You can soften your gaze or close your eyes, bringing your full attention to the breath. Once you feel well centered on your inhales, we're going to bring the arms up, letting them cross one another before bringing them down with our exhale. Inhaling, bringing them up. Exhaling, bringing them down. Trying to hit that full range of motion with our arms, not keeping them bent. It's not a little circle, it's a big, nice, giant rainbow circle. Continue following your own breath. Wherever you are, go ahead and do it one more time. Coming back to a neutral seated position after your next exhale. We're going to bring our right arm out to the side, bring it over to the left side of our body, kind of resting it right above the knee so that it acts as sort of a lever so we can push against it and twist our spine a little more. That free hand is going to come behind us for a little support in a seated twist. Remember to breathe normally in these twisted positions. It can be a little weird at first. Just feel the difference in the breath here. On your next exhale, go ahead and untwist. We're going to bring the left hand over to the right side this time. Sending that other hand back for some support. If you'd like to increase the stretch with this twist, you can also look over your back shoulder. Try to keep the posture nice and tall. We're not trying to slouch into this. And we're not pushing directly on our knee either. On your next exhale, go ahead and untwist. We're going to do some seated cat-cows this morning. We're going to come to a kneeling position. You can sit up if you would like to, or sit back. It's just going to affect the range of motion, so whatever feels good to you. If this is a little too pinchy, you can also just stay in a cross-legged position. This will also affect your range of motion, but that's okay. So whatever seated position you would like, we're going to rest the hands on the knees. If you're cross-legged, it will be, your fingertips will be on the mat instead. Bring your attention to your breath again. Once you feel grounded, inhale, dropping the stomach towards your thighs, bringing the gaze up, maybe to look at the ceiling. Don't let that neck get kinked. Stay engaged with it. On your exhale, curling the spine, bringing it in, kind of pulling on the knees this time to bring those shoulders right up next to our ears. Inhale, dropping the stomach towards the thighs. Exhale, curling the spine, compressing all of that air out of the body. Continue this movement. Following your own breath. Wherever you are, go ahead and do it one more time. Coming to neutral after your next exhale. Go ahead and roll the shoulders. Sometimes tension builds up with that exaggerated cat. And we're going to come into our tabletop position here. Stacking the shoulders over the wrists, stacking the hips over the knees. This is a good spot for that blanket. Keeping the backs of the feet nice and flat. Toes should be running parallel to one another. Take a couple breaths here. Re-regulating yourself. Go ahead and send the knees to the edge of the mat, the toes pointing towards one another, and send the hips back, sliding the hands forward, coming into a child's pose here. Resting the forehead or the chin on the mat. Relaxing into this restful position. Inhale, bringing the chest forward, bringing the knees under the body, keeping the feet nice and flat against the mat, coming into our cobra pose. Adjusting your hands however you need to get them under the shoulders. The eyes of your elbows should be facing forward. Feeling the stretch in the back. We're going to curl the toes under, sending the hips up and back into our downward dog. Go ahead and move your blanket if you're using it. Pushing through the shoulders, flattening the back, pushing the chest towards the thighs. You can also keep a bend in the knees if you would like to. Maybe you would like to pedal your feet here. Whatever you'd like to do. We're going to go ahead and lift our right foot up in the air. If you can't quite do this, you can keep it bent as well, but try to straighten it. Try to point those toes before sending it through, in between the hands, dropping that back knee to the mat, flattening the back of the foot, adjusting that front foot so that the knee is stacked over the ankle in a low lunge. Once you feel stable here, you can continue keeping your fingertips on the mat if you would like to, if this is good enough for you this morning. Otherwise, you can inhale, bringing the torso up. You can also bring hands to heart center or act like you're holding a block above the head. Try to push down through your hips. We're not really pushing into this front leg or the back leg. They're just there for support. We're kind of pushing down through the center here. On your next exhale, bring the fingertips to the mat. Send that back foot back, coming into a tabletop position. Resting yourself here a little bit. Bringing attention back to that breathing. Once you feel grounded, bring the hands a little forward. We're going to curl the toes under, coming back up into our downward dog. Lifting the left foot this time. Again, you can keep it bent if you need to. Holding it up before bringing it down slowly in between the hands. Coming into a low lunge on our other side here. Dropping that back knee. Flattening the back foot. Once you feel stable here, you can continue keeping your fingertips on the mat if you would like to, or bring the torso up. You can bring hands to heart center, or hold the block above your head. Trying to bring the weight down through the middle into the hip flexors. Take some good breaths here. Exhale, dropping the fingertips to the mat, curling the back toes. We'll be able to lift that back knee, sending the front leg back into a downward dog momentarily here before walking both feet forward, coming into a forward fold. In your forward fold, you can grab at your elbows, the back of the calves, under the feet, wherever you happen to be. Just don't pull on a joint, so don't pull on your ankles, don't pull on your knees. You can hold on to your thighs, your calves, your elbows, or just let the fingertips hang limp. You can have a slight bend in your knees if you would like to, or lock them out. Just keep that torso nice and heavy. On your next inhale, go ahead and half lift. Half lift is straightening the back, Bringing the gaze forward, resting the fingertips on the calves usually or on the thighs. You can also grab the back of the thighs. That feels good to you. On your next exhale, go ahead and fold a little deeper. On your next inhale, slowly, 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 curl that spine up, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other, coming into Tadasana. Awesome job so far, you guys. Coming to the top of our mat. Those palms should be facing forward, shoulders should be rolled back, crown of the head nice and tall. In our Tadasana here. Ground your breathing, make the inhales and exhales just as long as each other, maybe 4 seconds and 4 seconds. Great job. We're going to send the right foot back, bending that front knee, stacking it over the front ankle. We're not hovering over the toes, we're not hovering over the back, just nice and aligned here. That back heel should be about on the same line as the front heel is. Once you feel stable here, be sure that your torso is turned forward. Coming and sitting into this position a little more. Inhale, bringing the arms up into our Warrior One. Make sure that those shoulders are away from the ears. Go ahead and exhale. We're going to turn towards the left side of the room here. The arms should be nice and flattened, parallel to the ground, palms facing the ground. And then once you feel stable there, looking over the front fingertips in our Warrior Two. The stance of your legs shouldn't have changed. Be sure to engage through both shoulders, being sure that that back arm isn't coming down. On your next exhale, go ahead and cartwheel the arms. You can rest the hand on the mat if you would like to. You can also just bend the elbow, resting it above the knee into a Trikonasana here. Trikonasana, sorry. Or triangle pose. Those back fingertips should be going up towards the sky and following it with our gaze. If you are resting your hand on the mat, you can also straighten this front leg for even deeper stretch. And if you have yoga blocks, this would be a good time to use those as well if you would like to try this, but you can't quite reach the ground. Remember to breathe normally, no holding your breath. Cartwheeling back up, bending that front knee, coming back into Warrior Two. Turning the torso forward, bringing the arms up, back into Warrior One. And stepping the back foot forward, back into Tadasana. Awesome job, everybody. Take some time to re-regulate the breath here. We're going to repeat the sequence on the other side. If you ever get tired in any of those poses, you can come back to Tadasana and just join us whenever you're ready. Make those inhales and exhales nice and long. Go ahead and send the left foot back this time, bending that front foot or that front knee, stacking it over the front ankle. Once you feel stable here, lifting the arms, making sure they're away from the ears in our Warrior One. Be sure that your ankles are on the same line. Flatten the arms, going parallel to the ground, turning towards the right side of the room here, looking over those front fingertips. Engage through both shoulders so that that back arm doesn't fall. Warrior Two. Stance of your legs shouldn't have changed. Cartwheeling the arms, either resting that forearm just above the knee or resting the hand on the mat, sending those back fingertips up to the sky, following them with your gaze, maybe straightening the front leg in our Trikonasana triangle pose. Wherever you need to be. Go ahead and cartwheel the arms up, back into Warrior Two, bending that front knee again. Turn the torso forward, bringing the arms up, Warrior One, stepping the back foot forward, back into Tadasana. Great job. Take some time to breathe here. Turning to the side of your mat, we're going to bring our feet parallel to the mat here. Our stance should be wider than our shoulders, wherever that feels good to you. So if you're all the way out here, that's great. If you're just here, that's perfectly fine as well. Just a little bit wider than you're used to. Once you find stability here, we're going to hinge at the hips, bringing the chest down towards the ground in a wide-legged forward fold. You can grab the back of the calves, you can grab the feet, you can grab the thighs, you can grab the elbows, resting the fingertips on the mat, whatever feels good to you here. Just don't pull on a joint, please. Let that torso be nice and heavy. Folding a little deeper with each exhale. Feeling any stress you might be holding on to melt away. On your next inhale, hinging at the hips, coming back up into standing. We're going to turn the toes to face the corners of the mat. We're going to bring the arms up, pinching the shoulders back into a V, into a star pose here. Go ahead and relax the arms, step the feet in together, and come to a nice laying down position as we wrap up our practice today. Once you're here, go ahead and interlace your fingers, resting them on your stomach. I'm keeping my knees bent, but you're welcome to flatten them. Whatever feels good to you. Bringing your full attention to your breath, maybe closing the eyes. Feeling the inhale, expand the stomach, and the exhale, deflate it. Try to make your inhales and exhales nice and long here. If you've decided to bend your knees, go ahead and straighten them out. Go ahead and bend your left knee, grabbing it with both of your hands, interlacing your fingers over it, and pulling it towards your chest, nice and gently, till you reach a stretch that you're enjoying. Try to keep that other leg nice and flat on the mat. Go ahead and gently release that knee, letting it gently fall straight onto the mat. Inhale, bringing the other leg up this time. Interlacing your fingers over the knee, pulling it towards your chest. Exhaling, letting it drop. Bringing your hands to the side of your body, palms facing up. Relaxing the feet, the legs, the hips, the back, the shoulders, the neck, the head, the arms, and the hands. Coming into Savasana here. Close your eyes, fully focusing on the breath and absorbing our practice today. You can stay in this position for as long as you like. Maybe wiggle your toes, maybe flex your hands, maybe roll onto your right side. Once you feel ready, slowly come up to a nice seated position. Thank you for letting me lead our practice today. If you have any suggestions or you'd like to tell me how you felt about this practice today, go ahead and leave those in the comments below. And I hope you have an amazing day. Namaste, take peace, and we'll see you later.